one quick pro and one quick con, since I forgot to mention in the video. This ain't too bad. Con, the back seats, like the back of the seats, you know how they have the pockets or whatever? Is it the driver's side? Okay, the driver's side has the pocket for you to put stuff in, but the passenger side seat does not have a back pocket to put stuff in. Random and weird, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just like, why do one and not the other? I don't get it, but anyways. Next, it's pretty cool. This is a pro, I would say, when you're driving and you hit your brakes. I don't know if your lights have to be on or not, but when you hit your brakes, the logo on the back glows up so people know what you're riding in. Pretty dope, so just thought I'd add that in there for the rest of the video. Alright, if you're new, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm not even going to take too long to dive into the topic of the video, so let's just get right into it. Alright, so pros and cons of owning an RX8 that I've learned just within the couple months of having it, and also just doing research before I even bought the car. Let's start off with let's do cons, and then we're gonna sweeten things up at the end with some pros. All right, so cons. Number one, the gas consumption is crazy. All right, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It's pretty, I don't want to say bad, but it's like, it's a sports car, so you should expect your gas to be like, you just have your card ready for your gas. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, this thing is a gas gobbler. Again, it's a sports car, so it kind of makes sense. But then again, with this car being so little, it's kind of like, damn, I didn't think it would. Maybe it would take more gas. I don't know. Anyways, it's a gas gobbler, and not only that, but you have premix that the MAZDA RX8, and I think all rotary cars take premix. It's what you pour into the gas tank before you put your gas in. So yeah, you have to buy that on top of the gas, and I don't know if you could just buy them in stores, but I ordered mine online. It's not too pricey, but if you buy it in bulk, that's probably your best option. And yeah, this thing's a gas gobbler. But we love it over here. Adding on to that, the fuel consumption. Now, if you want to, like, if this is going to be a daily driver, then yeah, you expect to put some bread into it. If not, you know, you should be cool. For me personally, when the first few months I had it, I worked from home, so I was barely driving it. I missed those days. Now that I'm basically daily driving it, yeah, I see where the money's going. But for those who got money like that and they want a little secondary fun car, this is cool for you, you know. You won't have to worry about the gas consumption as much if you're just driving it to play around with. It won't be an issue. All right, next up, let's just say it's lifespan. All right, I'm new to the car. The mileage on mine is pretty low for these, considering they're kind of old. I've been told they don't have that, not that they don't have a great of a lifespan, it's how you take care of it, which defines the lifespan. But when their time is up, it's like kind of like this time is up, and supposedly there's not much you can do about it. That's from what I've heard. And from what I've seen a few other ones, and yeah, once that mileage hits a certain thing and that engine goes, that's kind of it. Just things you could do around it, and you could preserve it while you can. But that's pretty much it. Again, it's a sports car with the rotating engine, so finding parts and people that could take care of that is going to be hard to come by. Speaking of, the engine itself is a rotary engine, which to some is a pro, to others is a con, which is a turn off why some people don't even buy the car, because they're like, wow, I want a car with a rotating engine. It's kind of cool. So it's kind of like a triangle shape within like a circle. It rotates, and with that being said, everybody should let their car warm up. That's just how it is. But with this car, you goddamn better make sure you let it warm up for like a good 10 to 15 minutes before you drive it anywhere. Some people, I'm included, sometimes will gently drive it before its 10 to 15 minute warm up, but it's not recommended. You're supposed to let it warm up 10 to 15 minutes because that engine needs to rotate and get its spin on. So that's that. That's a con for some people. Some people want to just take off with their car, which again, you're not really supposed to do with any car. But with this car specifically, it's good to let it warm up for that 10 to 15 minutes so your engine's nice and healthy before you just start raging on the car. Next up, we got storage space. Me personally, I haven't had a problem with this. I feel like the storage space being so minimal is a plus because I don't just have junk and unnecessary stuff in here. But your glove compartment is a decent size. Your storage near your armrest, that's pretty small, but it looks cool. So there's that. Back seats don't really have the backseat door, should I say, don't really have the door space, storage, whatever you want to call it. And oh yeah, the middle section does have storage as well. Not crazy humongous, but it's there. But there's also like little hidden stuff that I wouldn't even think would be like a tiny storage space, so that's cool in my opinion. Yeah, the trunk in my opinion is a good size for this car. Some people say it's small. Most people that see my car and see the trunk space are like, wow, you got a good amount of space in there. So that's just me. Next up, we're talking about a sports car. So with that being said, it is fast. Like, it's a sports car, so excuse me. It's a sports car, so yeah, it is fast, but as far as a sports car, it's not like the fastest sports car. Like, it doesn't give you that unless you modify and do little tweaks and stuff to it. You know when you're driving some cars and then you like hit the gas or you hit it certain miles per hour and it like pushes you back in your seat? Yeah, most likely on a stock that mine is, you're not gonna get that. I bought the car for the look, honestly, and just because I liked it, and I did my background search on it anyways. Yeah, it's not the fastest car, but then again, it's a sports car, so it's still fast. That's really it. Maintenance, some people also are turned off by this car and don't buy it because it does need frequent maintenance on it. You gotta check under the hood quite often, keep up with its gas. This is a lot of stuff you gotta do, and if you kind of don't know what you're doing on your own, then you take it to a shop or a dealership and you know they do it. But then again, with this car being a car with a rotating engine, that's not so common. Some places don't even want to bother, and others don't even know what to do with this. So then you got to go out of your way to kind of teach yourself, and then you're kind of putting yourself at risk messing with your car, or unless you know what you're doing, or you just got to really look for somebody who could understand this car. And some people don't, but they put in the time and they figure it out and it works out in the end. So yeah. No Bluetooth. That shouldn't be that much of a surprise. It's a bit of an older car. I don't even think there's an aux input in here, to be honest. That's kind of whack. But you could buy adapters that's friendly to adapters and all types of stuff like that. So not too bad. Not too bad. Radio is great. Setup is even cool, in my opinion. Last but not least, this is probably common amongst yeah, I got that right. Amongst most RX8s, the dashboard just cracks. It's just the common trend between them. People look at mine. Mine is not too bad compared to most. People look and they're like, what happened? Did somebody hit their head off there? Did your airbag go off? Nah, it's from the sun, I believe. The sun just kind of wears down on it and it's cracked. You could look in most of them, and most of them will have that. It's nothing too crazy, but it does. I've seen and heard they get pretty bad after some time. So I'm gonna do something about mine, probably wrap it with something. But those are the cons. If there's any I missed or think you could add on, let me know. That's just what I know. All right, we're gonna move on to the pros. Let's see if they outweigh the cons. That's basically your opinion. I don't know why I said that, but all right. First up, the suicide doors is a plus. I feel like when they dropped this car and they just added the suicide doors, that was kind of like the chef's kiss. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like the car looks like a coupe, and then people's like see me open up the suicide doors and like, what the, like, they're like, what the fuck? Like, they be surprised. Like, it's a good little add, it's a good little bonus. It's easy to reach stuff when you put it in the back seat just to open the suicide doors. It's clean, it's a good look. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's probably like one of the best features of the car. I don't really see much suicide doors out in public, like, that people own. So just knowing I have one, a car with suicide doors, is kind of like a good shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, next, this car is like great around curbs. Going back to the negative of not being the fastest car, it'll probably eat most cars in a race when it comes to coming around curves, because it's so, I forgot what it's called, but it has like a 50-50 weight distribution, the way it's made, or something like that. Somebody knows better than me, but it's a really well balanced car. So going around curves, it's like, yo, feels amazing. It's perfect. I remember one time, I really shouldn't be sharing this story. I remember one time I was driving pretty fast, but like close to the speed limit, but fast for like this curb coming up, and I was going to miss the exit. Embarrassing. I swooshed, and I feel like if it was any other car, I probably would have flipped over. Like, I owned the Altima before this. If I was in that Altima, the Altima would have been a tumbleweed. And, you know, God bless I was in this car, and God bless this car can do what it do, and God bless I was being looked down upon. But this car, in that moment, I was like, oh shit, I see what people are saying when it comes to curbs. Like, this just handles well. So, compliments to the car for that, because that's a huge plus. It's a rotary car. There's not many rotary cars out there, and not many people own them. So if you own an RX8, you own a rotary car, and you could pretty much brag about it and be like, yeah, I own a car with the rotating engine. People are like, what the hell? Like, some people are like, that's weird, or they're like, yo, that's pretty cool. I never heard of that before. Like, you literally are driving a car and its engine is rotating as you're driving. So that's like, that's just the plus. You could just say you drive a car with the moving engine. I mean, all engines move, but, you know, rotate. So they're kind of hard to come by, and if you had a rotating engine, some people probably think you know about cars, because you're not just gonna buy a car with a rotating engine for no reason. So people probably think you're well knowledgeable in cars too. So that's pretty cool. All right, next up, the sunroof. I don't know if there's like a huge pro in my opinion. I don't see much cars with it, but the sunroof is pretty cool. It opens up all the way, but instead of going like in the car like most do, it like lifts up and then slides back, so then your sunroof looks bigger than what it actually is, kind of on the outside. It looks pretty cool from the outside. I'll throw some images and videos up of it, but it looks dope. So it also closes all the way. You also have a little tilt function on it, which is cool, but it looks super cool when you fully open it and it like still sticks up. I hope you get what I'm saying, but I think that's a dope little add-on detail the way they built it. The keys are pretty dope. I don't know if they're all like this. I think most are. Mine's a 40th anniversary, so they went with the little special key. I'll just show you. But pretty much it's like a card, pretty much like a credit card. I think at the time they're trying to like make it sleek, and other cars had this kind of feature design to it. But here's what it looks like. It's pretty much just like a card. I have a, what's it called on it? What is this called? A case, I guess? I don't know. A cover, whatever you want to call it. But the key is real sleek. It's literally just this. It's real sleek. And if you could pretty much fit in your wallet, which is dope. So it's kind of like, it makes the car a push to start, but as long as the key is in the car and there's a knob, and you just turn the knob and you start your car without having to ignite it. But shoot, I'm not gonna be able to do this with my hand out. But if you could see, there's also like an emergency key to get in your door. You can kind of see where it divides. Damn, I wish I could take this out if I didn't have to hold the camera. I'll throw up some images or something. But so you pretty much got like 2 keys. Kind of, I don't know, but nice little detail. You can fit your key in your wallet. Dope. The seats, as you can see, the seats are, you know what I'm saying, man? I can't complain. The seats are nice. The seats are nice. Now, with it being a coupe, some would say it's like a coupe. 4-door, has 4 doors, and it does have, it's pretty spacious in the back, I would say. If you have people riding along with you, they should have no problem sitting in the back unless they're like super tall. Maybe a little chunky, I don't know about that. But people could fit back there. It's only 2 seats, so you can't have 3 like most people do in their cars. 3 or more. It's pretty spacious, unless I wouldn't put like full grown adults in here for like an hours long drive. Maybe like an hour and like 30 minutes the most, because you might get a little cramped after a while. But it's not bad. Like, the seats are comfortable, stylish. I mean, look at the headpiece on it. That's dope. I think that's really all I got for the seats. I just think they're really stylish and sleek. Good design to them too. They're different. Next, this car wants to be driven. When I tell you, there's times where I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hop in the car, let it warm up. I'm only going around the corner. All right, cool. You go around the corner and then you decide, nah, I'm gonna go down the street and grab a couple more things. Just an example. When you hit a certain point, you could feel the car wants to be driven. Like, the car wants you to put your foot on the gas. And when you do, it's like the car is like, gets like, I don't know, it's a car, so it doesn't have emotion, but it gets like a happy feeling. Like, you could feel the car wants to be driven and wants to be at a high speed. I don't know how to explain it, but you could like, I don't know, maybe it's just the energy between the driver and the car, but you could feel when this car wants to be driven, when it's like, all right, let's go, let's get on the road. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a good feeling. The car is like a head turn, I'm not gonna lie. It's rare. I don't want to say it's rare, that sounds a little cocky, but 9 times out of 10 when I drive the car out in public, I'm gonna get compliments or I'm gonna get people's heads turning, and that's just like a good feeling. I'm not gonna lie. With this being my dream car, that's a good feeling. Like, people are gonna ask questions if they you know, want to approach you. They're gonna ask questions, they're gonna look at it. Some people might take a picture, some people might like stare at it for a while. It's a good feeling. Like, this car gets looks because it's not really, you don't see this car around much. And it has a good little unique style to it, especially if you got a clean one. So that's a pro in my opinion. Overall, it's like a big toy for adults, I would say, for anyone who's of the age of driving. Thumbs up. I love it. Can't complain. Has little cons, but you just gotta learn it and know it before you go into buying the car. Happy I did, because I'm loving it so far. I feel like most people that own the RX8 never, not gonna say they don't have a bad thing to say about it, but you'll never really hear somebody be like, I regret buying that, or this car was boring, or it's not what I expected. I've always heard positive things when people buy it. Now, the people that buy it obviously are the ones that want it and probably did their research, but most people that buy it and, like, you know, their time is up for their car, they're usually like, man, I missed that car, and blah blah blah. So anyways, I'm starting to get, those are the pros and cons of owning the RX8. If there's anything I missed, let me know. Again, I am a new owner to this, and if you have anything add on, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Feel free to like and or subscribe. That being said, I'm out. Oh, also I forgot to mention a little nice detail and a pro of this car is there's triangles everywhere, so you'll never forget that it's a rotary engine. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd add on something a little extra. And another thing I almost forgot. I'm not sure if all of them have this, but a 2008 whip with the heated seats. That's a pro in my opinion.